Okay. Excuse me. This is Tuesday morning. Well, not much left in the morning. It's Tuesday, and I've been doing a Cubic Odyssey on Tuesday. So now that we've finished that up, it is time to put something else in this spot. So for now, we're going to do some Satisfactory. I've got a lot of work to do in this world, so I'm going to try to work on it a bit more today. Um, I just need some chill time while we're doing this, so I'm not going to have any music playing. We're just going to play through the game here. Been trying to get this lined up over on this end of the world. We've got our train track. Our main base was back over there. Our first area was here. We got some stuff set there. This is just a little side shoot. There were some resources over here I wanted to gather up. There's like 4 coal nodes. There's an iron node. There is a copper node. And down in this cave over to the side here, beep, 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 right through there, is 3 crystal nodes and a SAM, which I've already got set up to send out reanimated SAM in here. So I went back through this cave, and I went ahead and just laid out a floor all the way back to where those resources are at. Oop, I need to fix this. All the way back into there, and we've just got the, come on, right there. And then one of these right there, and then one of these right there. Good. So anyway, these go back a ways. There's this large cavern, and then it's the next large area back past that. I want to be careful because there could be spiders show up anytime. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been working on here. We're just going to ride this out. Go faster. There we go. Duck. Great. All right. So anyway, we've got those resources here. We're just trying to put together a factory that's going to make crystal oscillators. I think that's what I've decided I want from here. We're going to be making silica, sending that off, and then crystal oscillators will be our other main product here. So we'll probably combine this train station with another one to get the 4 products. I don't know. I'll have to go through here and see. I don't want to send like iron necessarily over there. But we'll see what we have as far as leftovers. And anyway, I've just started setting this one up. Let's see, we can just do a copy. Just go paste this in here. So this will be what happens on this end. Let's get all these pasted in. So this one iron node, I believe it was a pure one. It will ultimately do 1200 per minute. We don't have conveyors that can handle that, but I do want to have this part set up to be able to process the 1200 per minute when we get to that point. So that's going to be 16 of these smelters. Let's get all the settings pasted in there. Let's just verify that. That went in? Yes. 3 time crystals. No, excuse me. Power shard, crystal, power things, whatever. So it's going to run 75 per minute, putting out 75 per minute, and that is roughly 1200 total with the 16 that are on here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2, 16. Awesome. Okay, we also need to process the copper ore that's going to be coming in here, so we need another row. And this one's just, hold on, I think this was just 600 per minute that it can do. So we're capable of processing every bit of this. Yes. So we just need another row of these smelters over here. Now this one's going to require room for a merger. Let's get the right hot bar up. Switch that around to mergers. Where's my, okay, what arrows coming out that way? There we go. Let's get that smacked in there as close as we can. So a row of mergers here, followed by a row of splitters for the copper ore to go through. Okay, there's 8 there. Now, this iron is going to be taken to some foundries to make steel. That'll be the next step in the process. For that, I believe. Hold on. I have to double check that. Let me see. I've got a list. here somewhere on my computer of what we need. Factories. Crystal oscillators. We need crystals, cable, reinforced plates. Reinforced plates. None of that requires steel. Okay. Cable's going to come from the copper. We're going to make wire, and then I think there's a way to do it with the silica, as a matter of fact. No? No, it was Caterium. All right. Let's see. Reinforce iron plate. We can do the stitched iron plate. That was an option. The stitched iron plate would give us 5.6 per minute, which is more than the regular recipe. Another way to do it is just go straight for this. We've got alternate recipes for screws. We can go straight from... Oh, yeah, that's probably the better way. If we make steel beams and then turn them into screws, they give us 260 per minute per unit. That's going to give us the most, so it's probably where I was headed with this. So we want to make steel beams and screws to get those iron plates. So let me update my list here. It'd be steel beams to screws. But we also need to be making iron plates for that. Iron plates out of some of this iron. We also need to be making our steel from this iron because we have an alternate steel recipe, right? Okay, all right. So we're going to be making steel from coal and iron ingots, and then we're going to add more iron ingots to that steel to make the cast plates, it looks like. We don't have plastic right around here, so that recipe is not going to be... this recipe's out. We don't want to have to ship it over here. We could do that, but yeah. So this is our next most likely recipe to use. So we're going to be adding iron ingots to steel to get 45 per minute of these iron plates. So steel beams, screws, and then what am I? Iron plate. Can't type. Equal iron plus steel. Steel is going to be from iron ingots plus coal. All right. Let's double check that. Let's get this recipe pulled up here. I'm just going through all my list here. So yeah, right. This one right here, the solid steel ingot. We're getting plenty of this. It's a rate of 60 per minute. This is just, we're not quite there. We don't want to do that. That'd be a good use of petroleum coke, but that's also not a great use of your heavy oil residue. So we don't want to do that. So this is our recipe we're going with. We've got plenty of coal. We're going to have plenty of this iron in here eventually. So I don't know what rates to balance all this stuff. So we might just have it where the excess goes off to the storage back at the main base area. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So let's get a few things set up. We have the iron set up. We can go ahead and throw in some smelters for the copper. They'll probably end up going off to another level. So I'm going to do multiple levels on this. We've got a good bit of height here to work with. And these are smaller machines. It's harder to do multiple levels of refineries just because they're so tall to begin with. And then, like, if there's any liquids within that refinery, you have to send, it's just not going to work to send it up. So we're not using refineries here anyway. The next layer is going to be, let's see here. I don't want those to connect. We're going to come in right here. And since they're the same machine, we should be able to just put them beside each other like this. And then we just have to extend the floor over there. Right, now we'll just go ahead and throw our floor down. Goodness gracious. Let's not start the hiccups again. Zoop that down. It might take 2 of these. I'll go ahead and throw the floor over like that. There we go. Alright, and then we're just going to copy this, but we're going to end up changing it once we do that. So we're going to pull this back as close as we can to that one, this one, right there, okay? We come in here and change the recipe over to copper, keep all that. It'll process 75, so this is correct. And then we're just going to copy this one. Let's come out here. Something's not right. Here. Let's see. Eh. That is easy. Merger's over here as well. Coming out this direction. Close can. There. Getting there. That's a building. I probably could just make a blueprint of that. I think I have constructors done that way, but not smelters. That'd probably be helpful. Yeah. Alright, so that's the first little bit here. We got our, we just need to bring our copper in to the input side of this right here. So let's go ahead and line ourselves up with this and find a wall hole. There we go. And then this needs to come over here. Let's extend our flooring over, our edge, I mean. Really. Nope, there it is. And there. Okay. That can come over here. Bring it to there. Just gotta snake it over here. Make it straight to that. Awesome. Then we just connect it to our splitters. I'm gonna have to update our power on here. We have unlocked nuclear power, but I'm nowhere near ready for that. I mean, I've still I still don't have some of the basics being auto-crafted, and I know that nuclear stuff can get out of hand if you're not set up and ready for that. So I don't want to start making that happen just yet. So there's still a couple places we can, excuse me, we can get some petroleum power going. We can also, we could go back through and upgrade to turbo fuel on those, which would produce a lot more power. It might be easier just to find a new spot. I think, let me see, there's one, gosh, down here. I can't remember exactly where. There's another spot where there's some oil. It's back over the edge. We'll have to go back down. Let's see. I know I've been there before, so this should show up on the map. Not even be here? No? I think it is right in... unless that's the swamp, in which case we have not been to the swamp yet. Anyway, there's a couple other spots. I know there's the big lake down here. There's oil here. We could go in and set up a refinery. I had that on my last playthrough. But we could do it specifically for power. Not have to worry about the other. I mean, the other products would be there, and we can eventually get them. But for now, we can just go set up a refinery there, which is on the opposite end of the map from where we're at. But not complete opposite, but close enough. Well, we could set up our refineries there to get more power. Then we just need to bring the power across the map, tied in with our network here. We could take the excess coal here where we're at and just throw a few coal-powered burners. But honestly, like, that doesn't really produce a whole lot. So, oh, geyser. We need to probably get power out of that too while we're here. Oh, wait, we're up here. Yeah. Yeah, that's my marker where we're at. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to get back to it. So we're just, we've got this tied in. I just don't want to overdo our power because I know, I mean, I think we're good for now, but the more of this we add in, especially like when there's bigger areas of stuff, lots more machines going, it's going to drain us down eventually. So, all right. So we've got, oh, sleepiness is what we have right now. All right, so we need to get, earbuds falling out. We need to get some foundries going over here. So we're gonna pull all, well, not all of this. We've got 2 lines of iron coming out of here. So we can send one to foundries. Foundry. Let's see what this shape takes. Let's see, go with that. Hey, how you doing today? Glad you could join for a little bit. Just playing some more Satisfactory since I'm done with Cubic Odyssey. Figured I'd pull this one out and take a look, see where I'm at. Just getting one of the mini factories set up to make products to send back to the train station and send back to the main area. So I want to get, let's see, that's a merger. I want a splitter. I want to get this lined up for our foundries to go in here. Turn that around. Let's see, that's going to overlap that. That doesn't, okay, let's see here. It's probably not the right place for that. As far as alignment, that's where we needed to be at. Oh, sweet. So you almost got your Halloween game done. That's cool. That. It also needs room for the conveyor lift to be on it. We're going to sit there for our foundry. Let's see what we got in the back here. Does that leave room? That's your input. Yeah, it leaves room for the output over there. All right, let's see if we can line this up better then. So let's get number 6 right about there. That gets our yeah, I've shown him a lot of it. He hasn't actually played it. I'm trying to get him to buy the game and do some co-op work here, but he's got lots of other games he's playing. And, you know, that whole college thing going on, so he stays a little busy. All right, we're going to do solid steel, which takes 100 ingots per minute. This is producing, I think, probably 600 per side. Yeah, 75 times 8. Let's double check my math. 75 times 8. 600. Okay. So we can do 6 of these. And that means 600 coal. Let's see what this is producing here. Boop. 300 coal, and this is probably another 300. Yeah, that'll take up both of these. So 6 of these, and that'll give us a lot of steel. But we need it. We need it. Oh, did not throw them all in there. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2. I think we can do 3, and then another row of 3 on the other side, maybe. With a common output. If that's going to block. Oh no. I think the way these outputs line up, that gives me plenty of room for to deal with these outputs over here, which is just with this one, right? Yeah, because those will align there. Let's get them closer. As a matter of fact, let's put our merger down right here. Yeah, we're gonna go that. Well, we can come this way because we'll probably go. Yeah, we'll go the other way because we'll probably go to another floor to catch that, to start manufacturing the products from the steel. Which will be screws and iron plates. So, there's that. Let's get a foundry here. Output lined up there. Bring it over as far as possible. Is that? Can't see. I think right there. Is that conveyor going to connect? Let's see. Nope. Okay. Not there. I'm going to move it out just a little bit. Let's see here. Right. Because our next is right. Yeah, let's do. Why don't we go with that? Feels right. Get those lined up together. Come on. Okay, good. Where's the? There's the box. There we go. Okay, I think that should have those. No. That doesn't look right. That's too far back. Okay, look at my boxes right there. They're aligned. Okay. Okay, that's good. Let's get those. What's up? And we just need to get the inputs to the other side. We're going to go with, let's put the conveyor lifts in. That way we know what we're dealing with here. 9. I'll go this way. Yeah. Consistent here. That goes there. Okay, good. Put this in. Alright, so that iron's going to come in here. Should be good to go. Awesome. Okay, now these are splitters, right? So I'm going to throw those up here too. We're going to come in. Let me think. Coal's over here. We're going to come in right there. This one needs to go that way. All right. Oh yeah, belts. We need to connect the belts there. then we'll work on getting the coal over here. Then we just need to run power. I'm thinking I need to run a tower over here from that area along the grounds, and then we can just pull it off of there. That should be the best way to do it. All right, so let's go get the lifts on the other end of this. We're going to go with second there, second there, and second there. Sweet. Now we're going to come out with our splitters. Input from this way. We come any closer? No, it's going to clip through that, isn't it? Okay, we can actually make it a little bit closer. Let's sit here and see. Go back, and if we go any further over, yeah, it clips there. We don't want it to clip through that. It can technically work fine, but it looks ugly, and I don't want to do that. There we go. Got to put our splitters on here too. Right there, and connect everything with conveyors. Oh, there we go. Cool. Now this one's going to be a longer one. Let's see if it'll reach. And I don't like that. Let's go. What? We're going to put it right here, that middle. See if we can get the middle of that. I'm going to lift up right there. I'm going to bring around to or do default. Okay, then we're going to get rid of this. All right, I don't like that. I don't like that. It shoots up. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right, that sounds like an interesting idea for the game. So like a dark forest, I guess. What creepy forest isn't dark, right? Let's go up. No, that's too far up. Bring it right about there. Okay. So a mysterious one with a locked gate on it. That's even better. Man, I still didn't get the level right. Oh, and that's not... okay. Let me get rid of this bottom one first. And try to get this through here the way I want it. And then we'll get the top one. I'm going to come over here. Let's come out, because I don't think that bottom one will make that turn if I don't. Okay, that looks level. I think that's going to make a... Yes! Awesome. I think the putting it on the conveyor was throwing the height level off a little bit. Yes! That's wonderful. Okay. Okay, this is so satisfying. Great. Now we've just got to get this. I think I want to. It's good that we don't have anything running here. I want to switch these around so the output comes here and goes up. I don't want it in the middle of the factory floor. So I got to rip all these out. All right. Sounds like you got all the game mechanics figured out. What kind of like animation style is it going to be? Okay. Mergers go this way this time. Yeah, that's my output. Okay. Should be good there. And there. Ah. That did not line up. That. Sorry if I'm not very talkative in this stream today. I'm trying to just chill a bit. I will try to catch any chat there. But I probably won't be talking as much while I play. Yeah, so that'll put our output from this line of iron over here, where we can go up to the next floor, and then it's copper. We need cable. I think cable is just... Oh, okay, yeah, so there's a rifle in here. It's for protecting myself, right? There's three different types of ammo, and this is the homing ammo, so it'll like lock in on things. I have to find... Let me find where some enemies are at. Some hostiles. There should be some around here because I haven't powered anything yet. But try to find something to shoot at. But yeah, it homes in on whatever's in the graticle in the middle, whatever you call that thing, in your sights, and it takes them out for you. There's one that doesn't home in automatically. It's the cheaper ammo for this gun, and it oh, here we go. Here's something. So like these little things are annoying because when you get close, they'll start hatching these bugs out, and like there's enough of them that they will light you up. So without the homing ammo, you'd have to aim precisely, but with the homing ammo, it just finds them and shoots them. And then of course you can take that thing out too. But since everything's factory based, this is a personal protection device, they say. There's also a turbo ammo that like it starts shooting slowly, but the longer you hold your trigger down, the faster it goes, so it does more damage in the end. It's just this is the one I settle in on. The only other weapon I have is this explosive rebar gun shooter, and these are passive mobs, but it shoots like that. Oh, don't mess with the doggy. But it'll also clear stuff out. Like it's good for clearing out the terrain, getting rocks, getting rid of rocks and things like that. There's also just this one. Well, you can throw these bombs, basically. They're called novelists, and you can send multiple ones out like that. Just reload and send another. So you can send out as many as you want, and then you so that's the left click, and then you can hit, let's reload real quick. You hit right click and it'll explode them all in sequence like that. So it's more powerful than the explosives of the rebar gun, but it's easier to fly around and do this multiple times because I have an ammo factory set up to automatically put it in my or in the dimensional depot inventory that we have here. So I need to grab some more anyway. So if I just search for the explosive rebar, just grab some out of here, and then it automatically fills it back up from where it's manufacturing it. Let's see, there's that. That gives us, let's grab another stack. Same thing with the the homing ammo. I've got like just over 2,000 in my inventory, but I've got a factory set up to automatically replenish that for me because, You don't want to be out adventuring and totally run out, because you're just out of luck then. Just throw this extra stuff in there. All right, so yeah, that's the guns I have. They're kind of, I mean, really the rifle's the only thing that doesn't completely fit with the whole factory stuff, like rebar gun. You know, that makes sense for a factory. Have a gun that shoots rebar. But yeah, yeah, I don't know all that stuff. I know I've seen some of the stuff when they're talking about the changes in Minecraft with the arrows and all that, different things that they've done there. So I'm familiar a little bit with that kind of thing, but not a lot because I haven't gotten into the development of the games. I just enjoy playing them. But I know, like, there's one YouTuber, Doc M77, that talks about a lot of the arrows and how, like, because some of the contraptions he made depending on it, like when you shoot an arrow, it keeps track of the direction the arrow's facing, and there's things you can do to exploit that in the game. So like they figure out the how of all the way those things work, so they can exploit it and make it do certain things. So he and all the people that he works alongside, his community, I guess, that come up with ways to exploit it. And it's some crazy stuff they've done, just to like teleportation based on arrows, because like you could he had it where you could I think it was the interpolary throw. No, it was some teleporter, depending on which direction you look, which cardinal direction, it would teleport you to different places, based on arrow physics and all that. It was wild what they did with it in just vanilla Minecraft, just being able to figure out how all these things work. So he had a system set up in the last world, where he could just teleport around wherever he wanted by just setting up stations. And it has something to do with, I think you had to log out and log back in, and then depending on which direction you were looking when you logged out, it would teleport you to a certain place. So it was craziness, but all that was based on the projectile physics and the way they work. So it's like, man, like it's just crazy, because so he ended up talking about projectile physics quite a bit in order to explain how his system worked. So yeah, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And then if you start tagging who shot the projectile, you've just got a lot of other stuff that goes into one little bullet or one little arrow that goes somewhere. So keeping track of it. I know before, it seems like part of the aiming with these, like if you were aiming in one spot and then moved, like that actually tracked to where I was originally looking at. But like before, if I aimed right here at that let's see, that log right there, but I kept moving, and it would actually end up landing where I looked at later. So it kept my momentum and went forward. But after the last update, I think they fixed that, so it's a little easier to aim while you're flying. I never reported that bug, but I felt like I didn't know if it was a bug or a feature, you know. But the aim's got much better when flying. It's just much easier to work with. Okay. That's about it for this level. I'm going to bring the copper up as well to the second level. So let's get those mergers over here. Right there. Let's see, my output is that direction. Good. But yeah, this game isn't all about the fighting. I mean, you have to do some, so they give you the stuff to do it. So with this current setup I have, I mean, I feel comfortable taking on any hostile creature on the map. There's some that are still going to be difficult, but like that's not the point in the game, right? It's not, this game isn't about fighting the hostiles around the area. It's about creating factories, but they just give you the hostiles to make it a little more challenging. So the toughest ones would be the let's see, there's a toxic spider that can jump at you and attack, and it can like put out a toxic cloud when it lands. They have a little more health, a little harder to fight. And then there is a rock hog, like a radioactive rock hog, that first of all, it's radioactive, so you get near it, you'll start suffering from radioactivity damage that'll either damage you if you don't have your hazmat suit, or it will, of course, drain your filters on your hazmat suit. Yeah, just keep plenty of filters. And then he also shoots rocks at you. So there's the two, and of course he does this his charge damage when he attacks you, knockback and damage and all that. So those are the two toughest ones. But honestly, being able to fly helps negate a lot of that, because if you can fly, if the spider jumps at you, you just drop down or fly up a little bit, he'll miss you, or dodge to the side. Same thing with the rock hog. If you can fly around and keep above him and just keep shooting, like if I circle around him and keep shooting, I'll eventually damage him. So yeah, man, no problem. Thanks for joining for a bit. I'll catch you later. Have a good day. But yeah, ultimately this game is about building factories, so any hostile mobs in here are just a minor nuisance. Here we go. All right. So, steel is going out this direction. I've got conveyors in there, and it'll come up here. So let's build our... yeah, we can do that. Let's build our second floor. So we need to get these edges put in. Switch hotbars. There we go. For... there. And yeah, right there. Cool. And one more. There we go. Cool. Got that. And the corner. And I'm gonna put our base corners on here. What's that? That and one here. I think we finally got the right size for this factory here. All right, next we go up. 7 comes through here. This goes all the way around. And our floor goes in the middle of that. There we go. Ah! Let's see, this is north, so our ridge, or the line is, let's see, I don't see it. There it is. Let's see that across here. All these machines are luckily small enough that they just sit underneath there. Yep, got that. So they aren't a problem. I do like this infinite zoop mod that allows me to do bigger zoops like that. Makes building a lot easier when you're doing bigger areas, such as where the mega build's being placed at. Let's see. We want to come out of this, so we want a floor hole right there. Is that lined up right? All right. Okay, we'll go with that. That's going to bring a lift, which is this hotbar. Oh, yeah, I had that on a hotbar. Had it on my hotbar. Right there. Okay, and we're going to connect that to that. And this is going to come out the same way. Oh, right there. 9. Right there. Cool. There's still some space over here. Let's bring this out. Let's see. So there's that. We'll just come straight here with this one. And what we're going to do is put a small lift here. And we want to line this lift up with that. Like this. Will that clear? Yeah, that works. There we go. All right, yeah, I think that's close enough. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean it's close but not touching, so that's okay for two conveyors to overlap like that. I can't fly through there. I can't slide through there, but we also could have. No, the short wouldn't have made it. You can do a short like that up for one of these, but you can't do the other. So that's steel, iron, and copper coming up to the second level. I need to take a quick break, and then we'll get back on this. So let me put us on our Be Right Back screen, and I will be right back. All right, where were we at? Right here. Okay. Just had to take a quick bathroom break. Okay, we've got, we'll have, I should say, copper and, ooh, how about this stuff? Okay, forgot we can make the stuff with the SAM here too. Hold on, SAM, reanimated SAM. What recipes is just that? Is that it? You know what? we don't want to turn it all into, because there's going to be lots of reasons to keep SAM around. This is just used in nothing at the moment. All right. I feel like this reanimated SAM is used later. Transmogrifier? What is the thing that changes one item into another? I can't remember. We haven't unlocked it, so it's not in here. That's definitely a tier 9 technology, but this SAM is going to be used in that later. So right now we could just keep collecting this. We're going to have the stuff to go ahead and do this if we want to, because we can make this from iron or steel, and we'll have both of them there. Iron uses a lot more iron, but it does the and we can only produce 10 per minute, so that would be 30 per minute of these we need. So if we're doing, if that's making 25 per minute, if we just have one machine giving us 30 per minute, then we could probably go ahead and automate the SAM fluctuators. We had those in our research for our dimensional depot. They were necessary there, but I think there's going to be another need for these later. As you see in the codex, there is a recipe that the SAM fluctuators are going to be used for. So that might be something. I mean, this isn't something we need right now, though, so maybe I shouldn't worry about that. We do need to. We have the reanimated SAM automatically being done, so it might just be for now. We just ship that on over to storage and have it all stored up and ready to go. So we've already got that product coming out here, so it might just need to be funneled up there. As for the crystal here, the quartz crystal, or raw quartz, that needs to be turned into silica and crystals, because the crystal, let's see, let's just go with quartz. Let's see what products we can get from quartz. Raw quartz. Okay, we've got the crystals and the silica. Looks like there's other recipes here that we haven't gotten to yet. And I could probably look it up. But then these quartz crystals are going to be using the crystal oscillator, which is what we're trying to make right here. Shatter rebar, don't really worry about it. And then this is a totally different recipe. It makes more of them, but these are a little bit more complicated to get. And of course, there's 3 other alternates that will eventually be here. So that's that. And then silica will be our other item. We are not using it in aluminum production because we've got a sloppy alumina that does not produce silica at all. So we don't have to worry about that. And let's see here. Notifications on the phone. Alternate recipes to find concrete. If we want to make more of that, we could do this. Silica boards. We could make high speed. Yeah, we could make the circuit boards over here. Be producing more of those if we wanted to. We've got the copper and the crystal to do that. Or again, just make this, ship it over there. If we want to make more boards, we can do that in our main plant. So let's think that through. We're going to be making crystal oscillators. Here, we're going to be doing reanimated SAM and silica. So that's 3 products already we can ship out of this train station. And if we just did a line of coal and just sent, because we've got both of these are going to be 300 there and probably another 300 here. So it'll be another 600 a minute. We can just send over 600 a minute. Yeah. Then we could pull out of there and send anywhere, right? So that's 600 a minute of coal there. What else can we do with coal? I didn't know. Well, obviously we could run more power, but I think we're not where that would be beneficial. Black powder, steel ingots, we're using it for steel here. Gas filters, we do need it for that. Steel, compacted coal, we need sulfur for that one. for making aluminum. All right, that'd be a good one to ship it off somewhere for. A lot of alternate recipes that we haven't unlocked yet, or just recipes in general. So we're gonna hang on to that coal. So it'd probably be good to send it up there. So we'll get 600 per minute of this coal. It's also going to go up. So that's our 4 products that we have here. So let's get those crystal oscillators going, get that sorted out here, and then we'll just take it from there. So our products that we need are, we're making steel down there. The steel is going to be used to make iron plates and steel beams to make screws. So let's see here. Steel's down there. This is iron. So we need to mix the iron and steel together to make the steel plates. Steel beams need to be made from the steel. Keep forgetting this is iron. Hold on. I'm gonna. Sorry, I want to label these so I don't keep having to check. Okay, it's already labeled, right? That's good there. This was copper, right? This is just copper. That changed to copper ingots right there. Good. And we're going to throw this down here for steel. These are quite convenient. This is steel ingots. If you want to be organized, this is the way to do it. One of. I guess there's other ways. There we go. All right, so that way I can just look at them. I don't have to guess. I don't have to fly back down and see what I'm sending up here. All right, why don't we go ahead and pull power over from there, from the towers, and bring it over here. I think that'd be our next thing to do. And, yep, we just got to fly. I can't remember if there was a geyser nearby we could have powered up a hyper tube with, but probably. Okay, the closest we have is, well, there's some geysers. Boom, let's land on that. Refresh. Good, all right. Do I have those tied into anything? I don't think so. Refresh. Good. Let's grab this bacon. All right, we're going to bring the tower through here. We're going to grab power from those tied into the system. Even if we went to that tower, or put a tower on top of that, it'd still make it. There it is. There's our closest power tower, right? Not close enough. Come on. Come on. We're right there. Good. Get through this mess. Whee! Can we make it up there? Too long. Too long. All right. Well. Oops. Where do I want to put it then? Under here? Just barely too long. That's sad. All right. Let's see. There's that. And we're going to go up there. Go there. That's fine. All right. I wanted to tie these in, so let's go ahead and get this back up. Pull off the bottom. Oh! I didn't know I was in water. And we're going to throw it here. I didn't like before how much this fluctuates in power. I don't know if they've stabilized it or made it more stable. Okay, there's water there. Looks like it's stabilized. Because it would cause a ripple in the capacity. It is. That sucks. I'm just gonna watch it for a bit. I'm wondering if the battery, let's see. What's that? Let me let me exit out of the game real quick and reload and see if I can get this water to show back up. Let's go ahead and save that. Boom. Save. Let's just try to go back to the main menu. I don't want to restart the whole game. And continue. Load that world back up. See if that water will render in now. Do 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 do. Nope. There's been a few places around where like this water that I'm swimming in, like it doesn't show up at all. Let me you know, it's only a mild annoyance at the moment. I don't think it's worth restarting the entire game. So let's just focus in here, Dave. We're going to put a battery. I haven't made one of those yet. I don't know what it takes. Power storage. Right here. Looks like I have, oh yeah, plenty of stuff to do that. Now, if we pull power off of this, tie that to that, pull this to this. Gonna take an hour for it to charge. What I'd like to have is like something on this that just use this like as a rectifier filter for these geothermal generators. I wish there was a way to do that where there's like a other side to come out of, but maybe I'm asking too much of this game. I mean, it's kind of like your fluid buffers, like they kind of work like that, where they stabilize the output. I don't know if there's a way. Let's see. Let's look that up real quick. Let's see. I'm just going to pull this up. Satisfactory stabilized geothermal power. Okay. Power storages to absorb excess power during peaks and release it during dips. To balance the output of generators. What? I don't. What in the world? I think AI is tripping. It's trying to say stuff about this. I'm like, I don't think you can do that in Satisfactory, but thanks for playing. Let's look at this again here. The phase of each generator is determined by randomly at construction by building multiple generators on different geysers. Checking their phases, you can find a setup where they. Huh? Okay. So there is a phase on these. All right. Let's dig into this a little more. Sorry, I'm researching. AI is just giving me information about actual geothermal power, but that's not what we're looking for. The official wiki. Let's go to that. Chips. All right, let me look back in here and see if any of that made sense. These are actually in sync with each other. That means that their power fluctuation is going to be all right. This is saying to build them 30 seconds apart. Yeah. These look like they're in phase with each other, so let's try. Okay. All right. We're going to try another one. So I clicked exactly when I heard the other one running. Try this again. Ah, dang it. They're like, still not quite. No, too close. Ah, shoot. It's even worse. Mm. Keep trying. We'll eventually get one that's not completely in phase with it. I think that's better. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, let's look at that phase line up here. Okay. It's a bit more stable like that. Keep watching it. Just trying to work this out. Lots of observation here. Whew. Question now is these are what the geyser itself is. It trying to see what kind of geyser it is. Come here. Doesn't say. I'd have to actually look at the let's see here. Maybe our map will tell us. We're right here. And we've got pure and normal. Yeah, they're going to be out of sync with each other anyway. So it's normal and pure. So according to, hold on, we need one power storage for the normal one and 2 for the pure one. So we need 3 total here if we're going to level this out right. So let's go ahead and add a couple more of these bad boys down. Number 1. Here. And I'm going to have to freak out over the lines. Are the lines going north to south? Yes, they're going north to south. Just going to cover this water up real quick. These lines are still going north to south. That's lovely. Tear that down. Let's tear this down. We've got all this straightened out. So let's get power storage. Just put it right in the middle of that one. Right in the middle of that one. Right in the middle of that one. So 3. I'm going to put a power pole on either side of these. Switch back to our so click that. We're going to put a power pole right here. Right here. And right here, and then one more on the end here. Close that. Okay. There's our setup. Let's see what the ripple looks like now. Check an email while I monitor this real quick. Okay, what do we got? We are settling in. Still a lot of variance. Let's see if we tie this in with our main power here. What that looks like. I could have done this on any of these poles, but a little quieter here. It gave me a little bit, but there's still a little bit of a ripple there. I don't like that. That's all they say to do is just throw some of these power things on there. They average out 200 for one and 400 for the other, so that's why there's a bit of a ripple there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth putting those on here. Because they're going to give us a little more power, but like it isn't constant, and it's not enough to really matter. I mean, you say that. There's like 31 of these all over the map, though, so if we have all of them tied in, that would give us, what, average of 7,100 or 7.1 gigawatts? And we're at 18, roughly. But, I don't know. Problem is the max construction step. So orange is what we're currently using, right? The orange line is what we're currently using. The gray line is what we're producing right now, or our capacity, which is the same as our production with this stuff. So we're still good. Like, it's only consuming less than half of what we're making right now. So when I bring these other factors online, it shouldn't be a problem. But I just want it to be stable and not these fluctuations. I don't like that. Can you hook multiple things up to one of these? Yes, you can. Okay, let's do that. Right now we're running in. I wasn't aware we could do that. We got to hook the circuit up correctly. So what we're going to do is bring both of these into one. No more, just two connections. All you can do. Okay, never mind. We will do it this way then. So that, nope. We're going to come to one power pole here for both of those, right? Good. And then this is going to hook to that, which hooks to that, which hooks to that. Now, in theory, that should be a bit more stable. Probably not. I'm forgetting a lot of my electronic stuff. I wonder if it has to be fully charged up. Maybe I'll just let those sit for a bit. Let's get charged up, and maybe that's my problem. They're at 9%. They're gonna take just under an hour. Maybe they'll be fine. Is that all the way on there? That's not a great place for it. I need to fix that. To reach the tower. I know, I'm right there. I'm gonna make it. There we go. Okay, let's do this again. How far can I make? Can I make it up there? Not quite. Okay, we'll just come right here. That's a good spot. Right, now we're gonna come over this way. Come up under there. Right, here's good. Okay. Go out there, and we're gonna come up to this. Too far? Too long. Okay. Let's go there first. Now we'll come here. Sweet. Okay. Now we're just going to pull power from here and bring it down to there. Lower part here. Good. We need power here. We also need power here. Well, let's come right there. With that, we're going to come here. That's a good line. Okay. That's going to power that, and that's going to power that. We're going to throw power. This is our normal spot right up under here in this corner. And from there, you know what? Get rid of that line. We want this to come down here first. So at a lower level to connect to that. And then this is going to go up. Let's see here. So I get inside. Right there on that corner. And then we're going to run our power grid across that. Oop. Okay. Right, let's get power across this way now. Excuse me. Get rid of that. All right, we want to put power down here along this line. This here. Do this. Oh, excuse me. Mid. There we go. Okay, and then we're just going to take it down this pole, I think. There's good. Okay. It'll give us a chance to shoot it across the... no, not there. I want it in the middle. Middle! Get rid of that one. And we're running up this thing. Ah! Go there. And that's going to connect to that. Lovely. Okay, and then we can come across this way. We're just going to go to the other side of this pole. There it is. Right there. We can come down here. This. Here. Ah, we need to run power over there too. That's right. Let's click from here then. And go through this. Come out over here. I like that there's no like it doesn't diminish the power the longer you run it. It's a constant level, so you don't have to worry about too long of a run. Of course, as long as you can run is the length of the entire map, so and the only upgrades for power is just like more connections. There's no like low level power, you know. They could have done a lot more with that if they wanted to, you know, and I don't know, like how many volts run through it, things like that, but we don't have that. All right, let's get some things running in here. Let's power up to there. And here. Fall down. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. We want to get in here for all these. And it's just a matter of tying in one end. Probably this end over here would be the best one to tie in because we've got our connector down there. Yeah, so let's do that. This one's just going to come over to this set of connectors up here first. So tie to that one and then come across to that. Yeah, we'll do that. And that ties that and there. Gets that whole thing ready to run. Let's get this side going. Iron. I don't think I have this going into the last several. Hopefully I didn't. It'd just be the first 5 on either side. Yeah. And that being the case, I think I'm just going to leave it with the power running to that, and then this side we're going to do the same thing with power. Get these 5 up. Let's get in here. Good. And one more here, and then we just have to tie it in with the main power line. I can do that easily by clicking that, adding that to... That's not what I clicked on. Nope. Not a smelter. Erg. Okay. It's wall outlet. Okay. Let's just put it right there. And then we will do the power. Why do not we have ore coming in? Oh, okay. Missed that vital part there. Yeah, that should work. I think I hooked up all the other ones. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just double check. Oh yeah, I've got to get these units down here going too. And that means I probably should just go ahead and run power to all these through here. So I have a connector on the end for that. Yep, right there. Boom. And right there. It gives us a spot to bring power over to the back of these units. Right above like that. Good. To the next one. So we're out, yeah, just a smidge in front. That's fine. I like running them like that so they're like consistent. It's far more satisfying to do. Is there another one? Nope. It's just the 3 back here now. Let's get power from this one. We will come to here. Put that connector there. Good. And can I get in there? Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Okay. That's all those. Are these set up to run? They don't have coal. Alright, I need to get coal coming in here. Oh, there was a hole there. Lovely. Let's see if we cannot get on top of that. Alright, we need to line up a hole with this. Turn around. Shoot. I don't want it to be there. I don't want it to be there. Let's go to the side. And then the question is, can I get a belt to go from here to here? Yeah, good. All I have to do is go down here and merge these two together. Which side do I want to come around to? Right there. Okay, 6 EE. This is a merger. Naturally, they don't line up, so we're going to put it right there. And bring it back. Oh, bring it back. Great. Now, where is it? Over there. We could bring it from below. And we don't put a hole in the wall. Let's see. So there's that. I'm going to back up just a bit. I'm try to put a converter hole right there. Put a lift right here. Will that connect? Let's try this. Yep, this connected. Good. Under here. That's not bad at all. Okay, that works. We just need to run this over to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot across to this. We're going to put a lift head right there. Let's bring this over. I want this to be straight though. Wrong button. Well, it's not going to be straight, is it? Okay. Default. That's good right there. There we go. Okay. There's that and that. Those are both coming in. Now they're going to shoot across to here. Then run over there. This is where straight comes in handy. Put it right there. Good. And then that'll connect to that. Great. Coal is being put into the plant. Now, why was this not... okay, it's filled up. We're good. And that means our steel is going out and up. Good. All right, other than like, I think. What if we put a splitter here? What's your input? We just easily do it there. Then we do it there. We can pull this across and then bring some of the steel down over here. Start putting some constructors down to make. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Oh, that's still good. Constructors to make some of these products from the steel. What were we trying to make from steel? Let me pull that back up real quick. Steel beams to make screws. So we could start that process here. Iron ingots plus coal to make steel. Iron plus steel to make iron plates. Let's go and make the steel beams down here. That'll work. That's the wrong one. Constructor. There we go. One, two, three, four. That's right. We weren't going to do that. We were going to what do we need steel beams for? We don't need... Little constructor. That's going to come over here. We're going to make from the iron steel beams. Or come on. Wait, that's aluminum. Okay, I see. I can't. I thought that was a steel. So steel is going. I thought it was iron. I can't get my words right. Okay, so some of the steel is going to come over here. So let's go ahead and put a conveyor head or lift head on top of that, so we can split it. Splitter right there as well. Yeah, right there. I can get rid of the sign. Right. No. Yeah, that's it. That feels right. straight out through there, and we can process. -60 per minute. Make just one of these 37.5 per minute, and then with this, just can do 12, 650 screws per minute on this machine, just using 12.5 steel beams. So if this is making 12.5 would be 25. Oh, just type it in directly there. Whew, okay, so that'll use 100 steel ingots per minute. We're getting 600 of them. Anyway, point is I can split to two of those, so it's not going to be direct. We're getting 6 times 150. Really? Oh man, so that's we're talking 450, 900 a minute. 900 a minute. We can't process that on our conveyors right now. So conveyors are going to be your biggest block for that. Unless we did 2 outputs of. That gets messy. Dang. Okay. Either way, if it's given 450, this is just using 100. No, it's using the conveyor max at the moment, which would be 780 or something like that. We'll still have plenty for other things. Plenty of the steel. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is, for now, we're just going to run one of these. We're going to split the output into 2 right there. Right? And then that means we'll have 1. Actually, we can flip them back around this way. So the splitter actually needs to be... We'll keep it there. And there, and then... Doesn't technically need a splitter, but here we are. Okay. All right, this should produce... Nope. $650, and this will be another $650. So that's 2 conveyors full of screws. Not full, but 2 conveyor lines of screws, $650 each. Okay. That'll help us with our reinforced plates. Yeah, that's the next thing. Reinforced plates. Reinforced plates use 50 times 5, 250 per minute. So we've got plenty to make these. So that means we need to get our output of iron plates up to the level that would be at. And these are all ingredients for the crystal oscillators. I think we need the reinforced plates, the cable, and the crystal. Let's go look down here. Yeah, there it is right there. So that's going to get us up to the point where we can manufacture these. We don't need nearly as many of these reinforced plates as we need the crystals or the cables. So we'll have to kind of work out the right numbers for that. And again, I think the excess products we can possibly throw into another train to send over there. So if we need 2 train stations above us, we can do that. Never hurts to have a good source of any of these. Now, granted, I don't know what my flow rate's going to be when we get back at the main depot station of any of these given products, but we might just figure out ways to merge things together in the end. But right now I know it's going to be good to get crystal oscillators going because they're using a lot of different recipes that would come in handy. So there's that. I have frames being made somewhere else. Those are going to be used in that. Sorry, just processing some stuff here in my brain. Okay, so the steel beams are made here. We're going to pull some steel out of that. We're going to come around to there. Cool. That'll give us 2 lines of 650 each of the screws. Then we're going to go into the next thing. Next we're going to do is make our plates. Let's go ahead and get... So I haven't even started processing the copper ingots here to make the cables. We need... let's go and get that going. So we have 8 times 75, which would be 4 times 150, which is 600. Yeah. Math works weird in my head. 600 ingots coming in here, and we want to get cable out of those. I don't think there's a need for wire. Wire could be used to make plates. Darn. With this recipe, the reinforced plates, but this is still a higher output of plates, so we don't want to do that. We're wanting to make cable. Cable is what we need for the crystal oscillator. So we're going to use this copper to make cable. So if we're processing 600 ingots per minute, we're going to put 2 constructors back to back, like we almost did with the other, I believe. Actually, that's not going to be the case because these are a different rate. So we're going to make wire at a rate of 30 per minute, 75 per minute, and then we're going to be producing cable out of that. Let's see here. We're going to make cable. It's going to use 150 per minute. Make 75. So I can either pull this back to 75 per minute, which would be half. What's half of that? 75, 37.5. I can't. Oh yeah, 37.5. Like that. That's going to use 75 per minute. I can hook these back to back like that, but it's not as efficient with power shards, right? So we could merge them all together and split them back out. That's going to take more space up. So I believe this might be my best way to efficiently do this. So 75 of the 37.5 ingots. That's basically cutting that in half, right? And then it cuts that back in half. So this setup processes that per unit. 37.5, which was 75 and a half. We have 8 down there, so it takes 16 to process all the copper ingots. We aren't going to do that. Well, we'll see. Let's do my math. So 600 per minute of the cable I can make, right? Crystals, we have lots and lots of stuff there, so I don't know what their going rate is. Let's just check this machine out real quick. If I switch this to making, well, I mean, if something's making crystals, it's going to do... probably should have just thrown a different one down. 56.25 per minute. That's a really strange number. 56.25. But we could do multiples of those. Multiples of those. So raw quartz is coming in. It'll process just under 100 per minute, each one of these. So those were, let's see, those nodes were, let me find that. Right here. No. Hold on. No. Where are they at? Hold on. Turn that back on. No. I thought they'd show up. They're right here in a cave underground. So I remove the marker. There's a cave that goes under here. And it's under that radar. I think, unless it's more closer to this end. More closer. Words. Map markers. I guess I deleted the map marker. I should have left it so I'd be able to see what. I don't know. Guess I could wander in there and see. So I'm trying to do the math to figure out how much we need. We're going to get a lot of these. Okay, let's say roughly 50 times 6 would be 300 per minute. We're just going to say that 300-ish. I'll type that out. And then the reinforced plates, we've got that. I have no clue. We're going to be making 12 to 1,300 screws per minute. Let's set this right. 1,300 screws per minute, which allow us to do up to, let's see, force plate. How much? That doesn't say how many per minute. Okay, here we go. 250 per minute for this recipe. That's the base. So we're overclocking that at 250%. That's going to be 625. Okay, so 37.5, which is 75 per minute with 2 units going. So 75 per minute on the reinforced plates. 75. Let's get my recipe up for the crystal oscillator again. So with this recipe, let me do my math real quick. So we've got, let me pull up a calculator not in game so I can be looking at the in-game thing here. Our holdup is going to be, hold on. Let's see, 36 crystals. Hold on. Let's click to expand. We're definitely going to run that at 250%. So 45 crystals per minute out of 300-ish. There's enough for six and 2/3 machines. Cable, cable gives us, we're going to use 35 per minute out of 600, divided by 35. Nope, wrong button. 600 divided by 35, not times. It can handle up to 17 machines at once. 17.14, something like that. Reinforced plates and a manufacture rate of 75 per minute. And we're using 6.25, so 75 divided by 6.25 equals 12. Okay. So crystals are our biggest backup, and I have enough to do 2 lines-ish, two lines of 600. So let's go see what those sources are inside the cave, and that'll help us a little bit. I think we can just pull the Explorer out to just drive in there. So this is all a stable ground. I'll keep any of the riffraff off of us. Let's see if I can access this directly. Yes! Awesome. Alright. Let's go see what these 3 quartz sources, so we definitely should have enough to still make our silica as well as, good, I did leave that high enough. As well as get the, crystals made out of it. I've got some stuff to destroy there, make it smoother. Oh no, I didn't. Alright, well this is close enough. As you can see, I've totally leveled this floor out, faded into the other places. Alright, this is making 1,200 per minute. Okay, alright. Another 1,200 per minute. Dude, I think we're set. If this is just a normal node even, I think we'll be fine. $600, okay. So the bottom one is 600. Now the other 2 are full capacity. Bottom 600. And then we got Sam, and the top 2, okay, top 2 are full capacity of what we have. All right, where did, where's the Explorer? What? What happened to my Explorer? Grr. Matter of fact, I just want to look here on the map. I'm gonna come back on the overground there and try to see if it popped up top or something. That's weird. I need to clear all that out. Eh. Okay. Now we're on a quest. We're on a quest to find our other explorer. Right up there. Like, where did it go? I don't like leaving stuff just out in the world, because it's going to leave a marker on the map. It could still be down in the cave, just glitched somewhere, possibly beneath. That's true. I didn't do that. Realize we're traveling the same distance back here. Probably was underneath the floor. Did not pop up here. Okay. Well. Oh well. I'm just curious. We'll wrap things up in a little bit. Let's go back in there and see if it's beneath the floor. Obviously, I saved absolutely no time by using that because now I'm traveling more. Not there. Where's my... It's today Monday. Feels like Monday. It's not Monday. It's a very Monday Tuesday. There. Let's go back and look underground. Now. It's very possibly under here. See if we can find it. Right there. Right. Right there. Like, I would forgive the game if it just, like, glitched under the floor. Right here. Right here. Well, I think I want to rip this section out in here anyway. And just move it over some. So I can fit through here when I'm driving. On the rare occasion that I do drive anything. this is going to have to move over too. So we're going to pop this out of here. And now, nothing should be holding it up, and if it's really in the world, it should appear, right? Get down here, or up there, because everything that's in its way is gone. We cut a straight line through here. That should give us room. Well, let's bring this straight over. There's room there. Right there. Okay, default. There. This is, I know, very tedious work, but I like getting things right. And then we're going to go straight forward a bit off of this. It's going to give us lines, isn't it? Where we lined up. Where? No. Ah, up there. Okay. Could also just bring this. This is going to be straight. So I want to rip this next section out too and bring it down to there. Joining that. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. That is going to run into the wall. I don't like that. Let's bring this one out some more. Just a little bit. Right there, maybe. And then we're going to run it over and connect. Good. And that means we need to put support along the way here. One right here. Good. I'm going to put one here. One here, right there. 2, 3. Yeah, and then right here we're gonna curve it to here. All right, now we're gonna H. We're gonna twist this around and not quite matching that curve, but we can do this. We just twist it like that and bump it over just a hair. There we go. Good. Now, the question is, can I get these belts to go through here? Yeah, that's good. Great. Hopefully, get these connected through without much of a problem. Right there. And okay, yeah, let's go ahead and connect them through up to this point. I clicked. Still on default, not straight, but should be well guided to go as straight as possible. They should all be the same since they're going from one to the other. Okay. There we go. All right, now these should connect. There we go. Don't need another support in there. All right, that's good. Now, what in the world is going on here? Can we take more stuff out and find this? Find this? Was that it? Or was that me landing? All right. Well, cool. Um, about 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for today. It's been fun, but I'm perplexed by this, and I want to try to restart the game and see if I can figure it out. I mean, that water that was disappearing earlier, I was swimming in, but there was no water there. That's one little glitch I want to try to figure out. And then where's the explorer gone? I got to figure that out too. So I'm going to call it. Thanks for joining me today on this stream. So glad to have everyone here that was able to hop on and chat. Don't forget to follow me if you're catching this after the fact. Follow to catch more updates. I will be streaming Satisfactory again Saturday, I believe. Watch for a Minecraft stream on Thursday, and then next Monday should be Destiny. So I think that's about it. Tuesday, who knows? Today it was Satisfactory. Maybe another day it'll be something else. But that's kind of the idea for now. So thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to follow here on Twitch, or if you're seeing this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe there to be updated whenever I get new videos out. Okie dokie. Catch you later. Have a great day.